What's up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. Hope everybody had a happy 4th for those that celebrate, and let's get into it. We're going to run through the price charts really quick and then go through some recent news. And the news is usually slow this week with the holidays, so hopefully news picks up a lot more this upcoming week. Alright, first up for the HBAR weekly price chart, I did see some comments and different concerns with HBAR and Hedera and fund embezzlement, and I saw comments under Hedera's recent post. So if you guys have any information or official sources to this, I'd love to take a look. I don't know enough information to have an opinion on it. I don't know if this is related to what the HBAR Bowl on YouTube already addressed with the executives of Hedera making a lot of money, which obviously isn't a good look when crypto prices come down. So any information is appreciated, whether it's good or bad. I just want to take a look and consider it. It could be a really legitimate concern, or it's just a bunch of upset holders after witnessing a big crash, which is what we usually see when price action is down, and people think it is directly the project's fault. And it could be, so please let me know down below, but at the end of the day, I just know that this is all noise until we potentially get Bitcoin's first major move like we have the last 3 cycles, which we haven't had yet. Let's take a quick look at the HBAR price chart, specifically last cycle. We've already talked and shown DAG as an example when Bitcoin last cycle drew major moves and all-time highs. What did DAG do? It crashed to the lows and then later played catch up. So last cycle, the week of December 14th right here is when Bitcoin initially drew its first major moves and all-time highs. What did HBAR do? It crashed even further and then later launched. During December 28th, this week right here, is when alt season began and Bitcoin dominance topped. So taking a look at the Bitcoin dominance price chart, we can see the date of the vertical line. This is the week, December 28th, 2020. This is the top for Bitcoin dominance before the big crash. So this was the alt season last cycle, and it's important to note when the Bitcoin dominance price chart crashes, or Bitcoin's market share, Bitcoin dominance doesn't just go down, it crashes as Bitcoin, the Bitcoin US dollar price chart creates higher highs. So Bitcoin USD goes up and Bitcoin dominance crashes, and this is the historical alt season that we've seen. And whether or not you believe in another alt season, all good, I'm just saying that the structure is there and we haven't seen that crash, so alt season just hasn't happened yet. So I see a lot of people saying that specific assets completely missed alt season, but we just haven't seen it. We haven't seen Bitcoin dominance crash and Bitcoin go on a run into major moves creating higher highs. If that happened, and a variety of alts even later didn't perform, then I would say they missed alt season, but we haven't seen it. So per usual, guys, this is never financial advice, this is just my opinion, and I'm showing you exactly why I believe what I believe when I'm looking at the weekly and the monthly time frame of past cycles. And just looking at HBAR as an example that was around during last cycle's bull run, we can see it was ranging up, down, but when alt season came, it rose. So there's really 2 categories of people that believe in hope for alt season, which is me, and other people that say, screw this, I'm done with crypto. And everybody has the right to feel what they feel. This market hasn't been fun at all. And taking a look at the Bitcoin monthly price chart, we've yet to see that first major move in all-time highs like we've seen over the past 3 cycles. We created an all-time price in March, but we never saw that first major move, that first fat monthly candle like we've seen during the past cycles. Here was instant. Right here, we popped into an all-time price, and 2 months later we exploded, and then here was about 2 weeks. And the difference here is we've been ranging near our previous cycle top for well over 100 days, so this is the longest that we've ever ranged near a cycle top without first seeing that major move. And I know I shared months ago, if we were to follow what 2017 did, the longest we actually ranged near a cycle top before getting that first major move of 2 months, we should have seen Bitcoin's first major move in May. And as we turn the lights off, and I'm sure everybody is sick of me talking about this for months, but the 8-month EMA holding above this level is really important. We've seen wicks below this level, but for the most part maintaining the monthly candle closure above this level. So what I still believe is that it's really important to maintain above the 8-month EMA, and we are just above it, but we did wick below it. And so the 8-month EMA today is right around $56,630. So I just wanted to quickly run through the Bitcoin price chart as we are right around the 8-month EMA. We either hold this level or we come down to the trend line. I have never seen us fall that far below the 8-month EMA. Specifically after the Bitcoin halving dates, these purple circles, I've seen us come back to trend lines, even internal trend lines, but I've never seen us fall that far below. Even here was actually before the Bitcoin halving. And historically after the Bitcoin halving, we have seen ranging, but for the most part, we've always maintained above the 8-month EMA, specifically monthly candle bodies. And the thing I keep reminding myself is looking at Bitcoin's trend on the monthly and the weekly, higher highs and higher lows. So we're still in an uptrend, even if we did come down to the trend line. So whether we hold or come down, this is still holding an uptrend. So the 3 super obvious things when looking at the Bitcoin price chart or any price chart, we either go up, down, or sideways. If we go sideways, I believe it's really important to hold above that 56K level at the 8-month EMA. If we lose that level, then I'd be entertaining the trend line. I don't necessarily think that happens, but anything is possible around that 46K level because the monthly RSI and the weekly RSI, our momentum is pointing down. Or we finally get the first major move for Bitcoin into all-time highs, taking out that previous all-time high price at 73,700, and we can finally start to celebrate. So my macro view is probably really boring to many, but just sharing it is that basically I believe, right or wrong, that Bitcoin sees another bull run and major moves in all-time highs. Whether you believe it's this summer, it's possible, or if it's after elections, it's possible. It's all speculation until we get actual confirmation from the Bitcoin price chart. In looking at the past cycles for Bitcoin, there are 30-40% crashes that happen on the way up when Bitcoin is maintaining an uptrend. And I shared this chart yesterday as an example, so this is the 2013 top up until 2017 until we got the first major move for Bitcoin. This took 1,277 days, so if we applied that length just for conceptualization, and this is what I do to keep my perspective in check. If we clone this and then took it to where the peak of the monthly RSI was, that would show that length being around September 1st of this year. If we actually clone this and applied it to Bitcoin's all-time high price of 69K, where there is bearish divergence and the monthly RSI was not at a peak, that takes us to May of 2025. If we measure the 2017 to 2020 cycle, that was even shorter, 1,096 days. You can ignore that text right there. Using the peak of the monthly RSI, we already passed this point, so we've already gone further, and then actually applying it from Bitcoin's all-time high price, where the monthly RSI was not at a peak, that takes us to November of 2024. So I know this may seem super silly to consider the lengths of previous cycles from their peak up until they got that first major move, but this is something I'm doing to consider it, and it helps me keep my expectations in check. So per the past structures and the cycle lengths, that is a huge reason why I still believe that Bitcoin does see major moves and all-time highs, whether it's before or after elections. And there are a bunch of other considerations I have looking at Collins' Bitcoin Bull Run Index. We can see we are after the halving. We can compare the color compared to previous cycle tops in dark red. Seeing if this current wave and consolidation is going to be quick or if it's going to be drawn out a bit longer, and then also the Pi cycle top indicator accurately mapping 4 valid swing highs or cycle tops for Bitcoin. But we're still ways away from the Pi cycle top because the golden cross is yet to form. So in the meantime, I'm just twiddling my thumbs, awaiting for positive price action from the Bitcoin price chart to see how long this wave or consolidation is going to draw out, and then also considering Bitcoin dominance and asking where is it going to find its top. And then at the moment where Bitcoin dominance appears to be finding its top, and we get that first major pullback like previous cycles, I'm going to be looking at altcoin charts. Alright, let's run through some information and then we'll call it a day. Thank you so much for watching, guys. So shared by Coinbase, I'm sure the majority already know, you can earn 5% APY by just holding USDC right on Coinbase. And this has been available for a little while already, but I did think this was interesting due to the recent MiCA regulation, or the regulation for the firm Circle and their stablecoin USDC. So again, I'm not promoting this and telling everybody to use this like a high yield savings account and overinvest, but it's nice to be able to earn 5% because it basically is like a high yield savings account if you're comfortable with the risk of holding USDC, which still has counterparty risk. Next up, shared by Crypto Eddie, so we can see Meet Ripple at the forum. This is the 0.0 forum that just took place in Zurich, Switzerland, July 1st to July 3rd. So here we can see different Ripple managing directors and different employees such as Stu, Chief Legal Officer, and they're speaking about their unique approach to tokenizing value. She shares the big breaking news at the 0.0 forum was this: the BIS, the Bank for International Settlements, also commonly referred to as the central bank of all central banks. The world's first multi-country fast payment system, Project Nexus, owned by central banks linking Singapore, India, Malaysia, Thailand, and the Philippines. So she posted a link more on Project Nexus right down below. So we have Project Nexus. Nexus can be scaled up to additional countries and could make cross-border payments faster, cheaper, and safer. Total cross-border payment flows, these include trade and services payments made by traditional banking channels, reached about $150 trillion in 2022. According to McKinsey, while small global real-time payment transactions were about 195 billion. The global payment system benefits big companies, asset managers, and international borrowers, noting it is not really well designed for catering for people's needs. She added not only individuals, but small companies also struggle. It's high cost to have access to financial services in the cross-border space. And in quotes, what we try to do here is allow or invite countries' fast payment systems to connect to Nexus. And once they are on board and connected, their clients will be able to send money cross-currency, cross-border, and the aim is that it will take less than a minute for the transaction to complete and land on the receiving end account. And Project Nexus is one of the many exploratory projects embarked upon by the BIS Innovation Hub, discussing upgrading their capabilities, talking about AI being a real game changer. So we have Project Nexus. That is something that I'll definitely have to do a better job of keeping tabs on, and we can see that BIS, which comprises of more than 60 central banks as members. So if you're interested to learn more about Project Nexus and asking yourself, what the heck is this? You can go right to bis.org, and you can even see right here, Project Nexus updated on July 1st. We can see a bunch of central banks discussing connecting payment systems and these instant payment systems for payments basically taking less than 60 seconds. And they have a full report available right there. So looking at the technology components, we can see the Nexus gateway and IPS operators. Anytime you see IPS, this is instant payment systems. So connecting these instant payment systems for payments between two countries. So definitely wondering what they have going on with this Nexus gateway. We can also see communicating via a standardized set of APIs and ISO 222 messages. We're aware of the recent news at XRPL Apex 2024 summarizing the XRPL EVM sidechain. With XLR is the main EVM sidechain bridge. I believe last time I read it was like 55 different networks, maybe more. We have Archax bringing real-world assets to the XRP ledger with tokenization. We have the XRPL Japan and Korean fund now open, and then updates to the upcoming RLUSD stablecoin, so Ripple USD or real US dollar. One thing that I don't see included in this list, maybe it's in these video clips, is the multi-purpose tokens on the XRP ledger. We shared a clip of David Schwartz in a previous video going over these, so MPT tokens are multi-purpose tokens aiming to bridge the gap between fungible and non-fungible tokens on the XRPL. And as he says right here, the XRP ledger has fungible tokens that are great for things like stablecoins and NFTs that are great for things like collectibles. But there's sort of an in-between for things like carbon credits or concert tickets, and these multi-purpose tokens can have regulatory compliance information attached to them. And friendly reminder, guys, for the EVM sidechain for the XRP ledger, the official name is super easy. It's called XRPL EVM sidechain. And to learn more, you can visit xrplevm.org and take a look at their website, and they also linked a bunch of other resources. Having bridges tapping into the EVM is great for liquidity, governance, all types of things, but the most important thing historically for a variety of assets, and specifically XRP, is Bitcoin to go on a major run in all-time highs. And could the future be different? Absolutely, but just looking at history, XRP has only ran when Bitcoin is drawing major moves in all-time highs in 2017 during the super cycle, and then also during the retracement, during the lawsuit, and during exchange delistings. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button and sharing your thoughts down below. As always, you can find all links, including resources for charting, trading bots, platforms, wallets, portfolio trackers, and exclusive discounts in my link tree at the top of the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.